And for more on General Fan's trip to Cuba, Peter Hakim is joining me now. He's the president emeritus and a senior fellow of the Inter-American Dialogue. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much.
We know that in the past that Cuba and Russia have had a relationship. Russia has had a listening post in Cuba. China has been on a tour of other Latin American countries, but also has visited areas where there are raw materials, where there is something to benefit. What exactly are China's interests in Cuba?
I think it's a long-term relationship of two communist governments, two countries that had great revolutions, among the great revolutions of the planet, in fact. I think in recent years, Cuba really expected more from China, though. I mean, China has had this very rapid growth rate. It's now the second largest economy in the world. It's the world's largest user of energy and all. And the amount of the contribution to Cuba has been very small in contrast to what Russia once did, or what Soviet Union once did, and what Venezuela is doing now. And I suspect that this visit may help a bit, but they would have preferred a team of economists than a general.
Let's talk a little bit about politics and power sharing. 2 years ago, China and Cuba had agreed to put a Chinese destroyer in the Cuban port. But as President Obama began warming relations with Cuba, this whole package was rescinded. Is this visit in part for China to show the U.S. that it does still have some power here?
Let me say that the Chinese reaction to the reconciliation between the United States and Cuba has been largely positive. Either Chinese officials will say, oh, this is great, will improve U.S.-China relationships, it'll make relationships with Cuba easier, or they say, this doesn't change very much in the Cuba relationship. There's no, from outside the party and the leadership, there is occasional criticism. But by and large, I think that China's relationship with the United States is so important.
Right.
And that if there's going to be any conflict over that relationship, Cuba, it should not be over Cuba. It should be over something that's really important to China and really important to the United States. Cuba is a side thought, solidarity, brotherhood, but as far as it's not a central relationship for China or the U.S. for that matter.
China obviously pushed for thawing of relations, of what they called this Cold War mentality with Cuba and the U.S. Russia did as well. So you're saying they're not really concerned at all?
They're not terribly. No, I think just the contrary. I think most Chinese now think that the relationship with Cuba will be easier because the United States won't put up any objections. There won't be any economic penalties for their relationship. And secondly, their relationship with the U.S. will be better because you remove a source of irritation, a source of real strong disagreement. So from every standpoint, I think the Chinese probably welcome the rapprochement.
Peter Hakim with the Inter-American Dialogue. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very, very much. Enjoyed it.